welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Presidency response to former President Obasanjo's statement describes it as a distraction for the Buhari administration as it reels out achievements of the government. Ruling APC faults former President Obasanjo on coalition for Nigeria proposal as Ekiti State Governor says call for President Buhari to jettison 2019 contest is in order. Former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, in EFCC custody over alleged corruption. And the UK charity Save the Children halts its program in Afghanistan after an attack on its officers. And just a quick reminder to you that for more on our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. And log on to m.channelstv.com to watch us on your mobile device, or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. The Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have access to the Eyewitness feature, with which you can share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app and then tap and swipe to reveal the menu and follow the instructions. Great pictures you sent in today, beginning with this set of photos showing gallons allegedly used by illegal oil bunkerers but seized by the Navy around the Atlas Cove in Lagos. Our Eyewitness reporter says it's part of a recovery effort by the Navy during the Operation River Sweep in Lagos State, and he hopes it'll be sustained. Next is this image from Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, showing a vehicle fully loaded with firewood. Our Eyewitness reporter is worried that this practice of cutting trees irrationally is dangerous because of its effect on the environment. And the final image is from Ibadan, the Oyo state capital, showing 3 men sitting on a motorcycle with luggage on their heads. Our Eyewitness reporter thinks this is very dangerous and wants it discouraged. Thanks a lot for all your pictures, and do send us some more. The political space in the country is beginning to gain momentum as former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, has been speaking about how the People's Democratic Party can relaunch itself. Mr. Lamido was the guest of the River State Governor, Nyesom Wike, at the Government House, Port Harcourt, the state capital, where he explained that the nation needs a unifying presidency and not a promotion of hate. For the host governor, politics in the country will be on the right footing if politicians commit to ideals in place of personal interest.
The only party that can understand the Nigerian chemistry to be able to proffer solutions. Elections were held, of course we won. And in 2 to 3 years, Nigeria was fully restored, fully stabilized, fully reconciled. In 2003, because PDP had brought a new Nigeria, a Nigeria of unity, reconciliation, love, mutual respect, rule of law, Buhari stepped into contest. But somehow, some of the mistakes we made also gave us away to our opponents. And we were blackmailed, we were harassed. In 2011, it was very, very bitter. And by the time my brother just won the election, there was right in the north. So it means gradually, the culture of hate is being present in Nigeria.
You have been harassed, you have been intimidated, like you said. You've gone through one form of arrest or the other. But that has not deterred you. You believe that these are the sacrifices you must make, these are things you must pass through. And that is what they call a true politician, not an all-weather politician, a politician who understands that the time for storm will come. And you must be firm. You weather through it. We want to commend you. You're a very good example for people to emulate. There are so many people who have benefited from PDP. They're not turned around to know that PDP is a bad party.
A former secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, is in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The acting spokesman of the EFCC, Samin Amadin, confirmed this to our judiciary correspondent, Shola Shoyele, adding that the former SGF is cooperating with investigators and making useful statements. The former SGF was recently sacked from office by President Muhammadu Buhari following his indictment by a panel set up to probe allegations of corruption against him. Now, security may have scored a major plus, but the Federal Executive Council has been taking stock of the level of implementation of approvals given to ministries of Health and Agriculture. At the weekly meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, the heads of the two ministries gave account of what they did with the approvals. The council also approved the construction of roads and the completion of an abandoned water project to boost irrigation farming. Our correspondent Ibrahim Adra reports.
The meeting is keen on finding out what practical results were achieved from approvals granted by the council since 2016. This self-appraisal begins with the agriculture and health sector. The Ministry of Health sought and got 9 council approvals. One of them is a national health policy.
There has been 3 national policies in this country. The first one was in 1980, the second one in 2004, and the third one was approved in February 2016. The national policy provides the appropriate framework for us to implement many of the activities that we have designed for the health sector.
Also in the period under review, the Agric Ministry engaged in training, distribution of seeds and pest control.
The council approvals given to us between 2016 and now had to do mainly with pest control, where during the harvest seasons we have attacks of quillia beds and locusts coming in from Niger Republic in the 11 frontline states.
There are 2 new approvals for road construction in the northeast and completion of an abandoned water project in the northwestern part of the country.
The Hadija Nguru is phase 1 of the road. The road is 63 kilometers in all. What we secured council's approval today is 30 kilometer road. It's an old road.
Our efforts under this administration is to complete most of the ongoing projects that we've inherited. This project is among the 116 large-scale projects that we inherited in the ministry that have either not been completed or have been abandoned.
The 2 projects will be executed at the cost of over 24 billion naira, with the water project billed to be completed in 24 months. From the presidential villa Abuja, Ibrahim Adra, Channels Television News.
To security matters now, and the long arm of the law has caught up with the alleged leader of the kidnap gang that abducted 4 foreigners in Kaduna State. Days after the rescue of 4 expatriates, the police have fulfilled their promise today with the arrest of the suspected gang leader by officers of the IG's intelligence response team in Kagarko, Kaduna State. Our sources confirmed that 2 AK-47 rifles were recovered from the suspect. However, Dogo Russia is alleged to have confessed to the killing of the mobile policemen attached to the foreign nationals before their kidnap. The 4 rescued foreigners, 2 Americans and 2 Canadians, were kidnapped last week by suspected gunmen in Kaduna State. Let's cross over to Abuja now, and here's Linda Akigwe. Linda.
Hello, Ijoma. Good to see you. A proactive measure is being adopted to check the menace of herdsmen attacks as Taraba State today joined Ekiti and Benue states to prohibit open grazing of cattle. The state governor, Darius Ishaku, announced that the law, which will take effect immediately, has become necessary as part of measures to protect lives and property of residents. Governor Ishaku is also against the cattle colonies proposed by the federal government, describing the idea as an archaic practice which should be replaced by more modern methods of cattle breeding.
Our law takes effect and by the grace of God we will implement it and we'll do it in a manner I'm hoping with the sensitization there shouldn't be a problem, and it's done in good faith. Ranching is the only thing that can save this situation. I don't think anybody wants to be colonized again. we have gone through so many colonizations so that I think we're already going into a new the year 2000, and I think we should be able to do something that is modern, something that can help everybody, every one of us. As I said earlier, our population is increased. We should do something that will bring peace to our people, not something that will bring us in the scattered manner. And we should be able to secure our people.
And where the anti-open grazing law is already in force, the joint socio-cultural groups of Benue State are seeking a regional realignment if victims of attacks by herdsmen do not get justice. Leaders of the groups have issued a 2-week ultimatum to seek other alliances away from the north if the persistent killings are not stopped. They made the call at a meeting with Governor Samuel Autumn in Makurdi, reminding him of the federal government's failure to genuinely address the problem.
The memory of death and destruction recorded in Benue State is still fresh, and so the mood of members of the joint socio-cultural groups gathered here at the Government House in Makurdi, the state capital, is expected.
What happened to us on the 1st of January?
Before they air their views, the governor gives his account to the people, recounting his frustration when the early warnings of attacks went unheeded.
And we took proactive steps as the government of Benue State. And unfortunately, those who were saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that the killings did not take place never took action.
The speakers expressed their feelings on how the situation is fast shaping their views of their place in the country and also tabled their demand.
This genocide is about displacement. And I'm telling you, Benue people, that the genocide began and is incrementally, we are moving, shrinking the Benue borders. And people who are beneficiaries of this genocide are already settling in these places.
And so we are still standing by that ultimatum that if the northern people do not value us as human beings, but just as people to be killed, we are ready to leave the northern Nigeria.
The timetable has been set. But how seriously should this ultimatum be taken in the wake of all that has transpired in Benue State? Perhaps as seriously as putting a stop to the violence, threatening to rip the fabric of peace that binds it together.
Members of the Bring Back Our Girls group are demanding an apology from the presidency over the arrest and harassment of their members. The co-convener of the group, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, also threatened legal action against the federal government if the harassment continues. For the second time this week, members of the group took a walk to the gate of the presidential villa, but were again denied entrance by men of the Nigeria police.
Members of the Bring Back Our Girls group said to depart the Unity Fountain to protest the abduction of Chibok secondary school girls and other Nigerians seized by the Boko Haram sect. This time, they are not deterred by the arrest of the previous day. Through the streets of Abuja, they marched, calling for the return of all abducted persons and the need for federal government to do more in the provision of security. But at the entrance to the presidential villa, they met another blockade. Members of the group bear their minds on the situation.
Here we are again. We have been refused entry to go and see the president. We have members of the Nigerian police force out here. And when we came here, we asked for the leadership who is in charge of this operation where they have stopped us. And everybody has refused to take responsibility. We're back here. Yesterday was a display of unprofessionalism by the Nigerian police, who took laws into their own hands and decided to brutalize the citizens they were supposed to protect, that they are paid by taxpayers' money to protect. And today on the television, the police denied that they arrested us. They said we were invited. I think we have just redefined the definition of invitation.
For hours, members of the group tried to see if they would be allowed entry into the presidential villa.
Who is leading this operation?
That did not happen.
The leader is coming.
A member of the movement, Dr. Obieze Presley, threatened legal action against the police.
What kind of repressive era have we entered into? We will not accept that. The president is the one in control of the police. He needs to say to us that this was a big mistake, they apologize, and that it would never happen again. I need to remind the president that when in the previous administration, the government decided that it was going to ban the Bring Back Our Girls movement, we went to the courts to challenge it. We won that case in October 2014.
Members of the Bring Back Our Girls movement promised to continue with their protest until their demand for the rescue of the abducted Chibok girls and other people abducted by the sect are met.
When the news at 10 returns, Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo asked international investors at the World Economic Forum to consider fairer trade policies as antidote to illegal migration. That's in business news. Join us again.